Yeah, he's honestly one of the best guys I've ever met. For the superstar he is, one of the best goalies ever to do it. Just so humble, his whole family, and sometimes I wonder how I'm such good friends with him. He's that kind of guy. But yeah, he's one of my favorite teammates.
Did he ever get you with one of his infamous pranks?
He never got me too bad. No, I don't think so. We never really went toe to toe, unfortunately. I'll get him one day, though.
What does a personality like that do to a room, though? Because he's so competitive, he also loves to have fun.
He's great around the room. Just his easy-spirited nature. But then you get on the ice with him, and he's battling for every puck. There's no like one shot and then he quits on it. He'll play the next 3 rebounds if you play him. So his work ethic is very contagious in the locker room when you see it on the ice. So he's just overall does a lot to a room.
Ryan, what have you learned about Matthews being around him every day?
I can see why he's the highest paid player in the league. I'll tell you that much. He's obviously the offensive side speaks for himself, but defensively he's got one of the best sticks in the league. He's hard on pucks. He turns pucks over. Didn't know he blocks so many shots, but he does. So he does a little bit of everything, and you can see why he's one of the top players right now.
What's it do in the room when he has a performance like that on the first night of the season?
Well, when you got players like that, it's you go into every game knowing you got a chance, whether you're up or down or whatever the situation is. A couple of the guys on this team, they can take games over like that, and he showed it.
Did you kind of want a rematch with Jack Guy?
I mean, yeah, I don't like getting jumped. I don't know if I've ever really jumped anybody. If you want to fight, just ask me. I'm always around. You know where to find me.
Once you got going, what was your perspective on it? We don't usually see the net kind of involved like that.
Yeah, I don't know if he did it on purpose to end it or what. He just kind of, I don't know, once I kind of stood up and he had to grab me, he just kind of tried pushing me for the rest of the way. So I felt like it was on purpose, but we got him 2 more times. I'm sure something might happen. Don't want to go out like that.
In your time in Minnesota, is there a guy you didn't know a ton about, but after you were his teammate for a while, he really stood out to you?
That Matt Boldy is a really good player. I didn't know much about him, and I came, when I came, he was a really, really good player for us, and then Kaprizov went down, and he kind of led the charge for that month that Kaprizov was out. A young guy that obviously got paid accordingly for what he can do on the ice. Really good on his edges, really good in the offensive zone. So, Kaprizov, you know all about him, but you don't know how strong he really is on the puck, how strong he is on his edges till you really play with him. And he's a player that can take games over too.
What was your first experience with the Leafs home opener like? What will you remember about that game?
A new goal song.
How involved were you in that?
I took a listen a little bit. Yeah, we had some discussions.
What do you like about it?
It's not the old one.
You have feelings about Hall & Oates?
I don't really know Hall & Oates. I just know that's not a goal song.
We saw you playing to the crowd, obviously, when you came out, and after the fight as well. Is that part of just what you do, or do you sense that, it's a big fan base and it's passionate, but sometimes they're a bit reserved, that you can do that this year?
A little bit of both. I've always done that. I think, I like to bring energy, whether it's in the locker room, on the bench, to the crowd. That's kind of my job here. So, a little bit of a sleepy start. Try and get in the body, get the crowd into it a little bit, and that's what I got brought here to do.
Did you feel like it made a difference right after when you were doing the hand gesture to get some noise?
I don't know if it makes a difference or not, but if it gets the crowd up a little bit, sure.
Do you control the aux cord in here now?
I do, yeah. Not right when I get to the locker room, but once it's time to get ready for the game, it's all me. Yeah.
Do you go to playlist, or do you mix it up?
It's all hip hop. Yeah, we had a little bit of country going last game, and that got gassed pretty quickly. Yeah, you can't have that. Can't really. Yeah, I thought in preseason we had chemistry pretty early. Obviously, there were some guys that were on and off the line to see some different looks, but I thought the best games that we played, it was me, Camper, and Gregor. that we all bring a little bit of something different, but Camper and Gregor, they bring some speed, some skill, and I think they know who they're playing with. They're not trying to make me do anything that I can't. Sorry, Doms. We're still building on what we got to do, but I thought that was a good first game.
I'll probably win. I think that was really fun. It was a super exciting game. Probably remember Austin's hat trick. That was pretty sick. Watching that firsthand, and it was overall super fun. Great experience.
What's Ryan Reaves like as a teammate?
He's the worst. No, I'm kidding. This guy's the man. He's super nice. Goes out of his way to make you feel welcome. Had me over for dinner the other night, which was awesome. And yeah, his steak was pretty unreal. One of the best I've had. So he's a great guy, great teammate.
You mentioned Austin's hat trick. As a young guy, what do you pick up being around him? What do you notice the most?
How good he is, how hard he competes out there, and then he's obviously got world-class skill. But you don't always know how hard a guy works when you just see it on TV. But he's a really hard-working guy. Competes all over the ice, and then obviously has incredible skill to put the puck in the net at the end.
How'd you find the pace the other night compared to preseason, Fraser?
Yeah, it was a step up for sure. Yeah, noticed that. I think everyone out there thinks the game so well. You have to know exactly where you're going, what you're going to do before you touch that puck. Otherwise, your space is going to get closed off so quick, and going to be forced into a bad play. So you got to be really on it, always shoulder checking. The game moves so fast. You got to know where you're going before you get the puck.
Can do you expect another level tomorrow night, given that Minnesota's an older team, a little stodgier that way?
Yeah, I think they play a little heavier, bigger guys, right? So I'll expect a little more physical, maybe. But we'll see it. We'll see how it goes.
Are you feeling that looked a little scary?
No, I'm fine. I'm good.
Okay. How did you feel on Wednesday night?
No, I felt pretty good. After obviously missing that many games in the preseason, I just had a mindset of coming in and trying to play a simple game to start and get going, and I felt pretty good the entire game, so I'm going to try to build on that.
It's like that Keefe trusted you to get going right away, John, having missed some of the preseason like you did, just to reiterate.
Yeah, no. Obviously, it's up to me to come out there and show that I earned the ice time, so no, that was a good start.
How was it feel on the power play? Obviously, got the results right away.
Yeah, I think obviously that's probably one of the things that I wanted to play in the preseason too. So I get to know the tendencies a little bit of the guys, even if they're all good players. It's kind of easy to read off them anyway. So, but yeah, no, a little scrambly, maybe the first one or two there, but then obviously stuck to our game plan, and we got awarded.
What's it been like working with Guy on the power play?
No, it's been good. Actually, he brought in some things that kind of make a lot of sense, I think. So it's been an eye-opener, and I think that's something that we're still working a little bit on. So, no, it's been great.
In your short time in Minnesota, was there a player that stood out to you that maybe you didn't know that much about, that flies under the radar, that impressed you?
Yeah, Matt Baldy. I knew he was good, but as you come and practice with him every day and you see him up close, I think that's a guy that was really good. And obviously, I think Brock Faber, he was my partner in the playoffs. He's played his first regular season game just like Nice did. He came into the playoffs, so he's going to be a good player for them as well.
What is it about Boldy's game in particular? What does he do?
Obviously, we all know he's a goal scorer. He can shoot the puck, but I think just the way he's got poise with the puck, and he's really strong on it. He's able to create a lot of time and space for himself and put up teammates in a good spot to score goals too.
What have you learned about Austin, seeing him day to day up close?
Yeah, no, I'm very impressed. Obviously, I knew before I got here that he's a world-class elite hockey player and one of the best in the world, but just coming here from day one, he's one of the first guy in every day. He works hard. He comes out on the ice early. He works on his shot. He works on every part of his game and off the ice as well. So it's very impressive and easy to follow.
It's a win's a win, but is it easier to drill down on the mistakes and things you guys got to improve, even though it's early in the season?
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, you watch a lot of video anyway, so you're going to have to, I mean, you're dealing with the mistakes and the good things, and then you move on and focus on the next game. But yeah, obviously 2 points is 2 points in the first game, but there's stuff that we need to work on, and we address that today and move on.
How much better do you have to be at even strength, given that Minnesota doesn't need much to win games?
Yeah, no, they're a great structured team. I noticed that when I was there too. Great defensively, and they obviously got some high-end players to score goals too. So I don't expect it to be a 6-5 game tomorrow.
Do you have any setups to William like that playing on the national team at all?
What's that?
Do you have any setups like the one you had on Wednesday to William on the national team? It just looks like you had
It was actually the opposite when I played with him last time in World Championship. I was playing left half wall, and he made a seam pass from the right half wall, and I was able to score the goals. So no, but yeah, Willie's got a great shot. I think it's underrated. So I'm gonna try to obviously distribute Matthews and Nylander a lot for their one-timers, and then Marner can work a little bit on his one-timer too.
Did you ever get pranked by Marc-Andre Fleury when you were in Minnesota?
No, I never did, which is probably a good thing.
What's it like having a personality like that in a room, though? That
No.
is so competitive, but also likes to keep it light.
Yeah, no, great. He was probably the most competitive guy in that room, but also keeps it very loose. So, and obviously as a veteran too, it just makes the room a lot more open and calm too.
Did you see Williams wink after your goal?
Yeah, that was to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he do that a lot?
No, I don't know.
John, last one, just curious, you're missing some teeth up there. It makes you, it's a tough look, but how long have you been without those chickens?
It's been 6 or 7 years now, but obviously I've had a bridge or a flipper that I've been using too. And as I was going to fly over to Toronto, it just came out like a week before. So I've just been lazy to put them back in, but I'm going to do it here within the next month. My wife isn't very happy about it.
Yeah.
Whose stick was that?
I don't know. We were in Czech Republic playing with the national team, so. But yeah, I mean, it's hockey. It looks pretty good too.
Well, obviously, it's a great reason why we come away feeling good about the game with the result, at least getting the 2 points. So it's allowing you to come out of it and look to fix the mistakes that we made, in a better light and feeling better about yourself. But obviously, it doesn't change the fact that there are things to clean up. However, with all that said, I think when I look at the game and I watch it all back and break it down, for me, we did a lot of really good things in that game that were spoiled with some big mistakes, big momentum, game-changing mistakes. It took away a lot of the good things that we did, but I think those things are fixable, very, very fixable. In fact, I look at, we'll give them their power play goal, but I think all the other goals that we gave up, to me, are, they're either unfortunate or unlucky in terms of some of the gaps that we had, or just structural pieces that we got right a lot in the game, and then in key times made some mistakes that they made us pay on, and we can fix that.
So what do you stress tomorrow night, Sheldon, against a team that's going to be a little more structured than what you saw in Gilson?
Yeah, I think it's that in itself, I think, will make the game be different and feel different. I think, historically, these are the kind of games that we've responded in kind in terms of our own structure and details and all those kind of things. So I would expect that, and also it's just been a big topic for us. We had a lot of new guys here, so still finding their way through the game reps of our system and structure that will take time, but I certainly expect it to be a more controlled game on both sides on Saturday.
So was it more a case where it didn't look as bad on video as maybe you felt it did from behind the bench?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would say, because we had a lot of really good sequences, good carrying play and doing a lot of good things, and then you have one or two things that are glaring errors that make you lose momentum, lose control, and then things kind of slip from there, which is sort of what happens in our game. You make mistakes, you open the game up for the opposition. Now you tend to be on the ice tired, defending tired, and then you make mistakes within that. So there's some things for us to clean up there for sure, but there was way more good in the game than, frankly, I was expecting to come out of it really for each line.
Samsonov again tomorrow?
Yes.
And in your mind, do you have an ideal workload share between him and Wall?
Not necessarily, no. Other than to say I'd expect it to be pretty similar to last year, which, as we know, was broken up a lot with injuries to both our goalies. But, the schedule being what it is, you have to use both guys, and we will. But we'll look at the schedule and kind of take it. We'll make a plan to take it a day at a time as we go through it.
Mitch the other day talked about how choppy the ice was. Do you ever talk with the crew at the Scotiabank Arena about the quality of the ice or what they're doing or anything like that?
Both teams play on the same ice, so I'm not concerned about that.
What stands out about Reaves' personality? Like, what have you noticed about the way he is, what he's brought in that regard to this team?
A lot of confidence, swagger, consistency. And that thing, that part of it, I wasn't quite sure on that end. You don't really know until you see a guy and you work with him every day. But his consistency and his demeanor, his attitude, everything that he's brought here daily, and then his consistency in his practice habits, consistency with how he's played on the ice, I've been really, really impressed. This is a true professional that knows his job. And when I say that, I'm not referring to his role as a physical player, all in the fighting and all that kind of stuff. He defensively knows his responsibility. He's gotten it right pretty much every time, and plays hard and smart, keeps his shift short. Like I've been really impressed with what we've gotten from Revo here so far. I thought he was excellent in the first game the other night. I've been thrilled with him here and what he's brought to our group.
You singled out John Klingberg as one of the players that you were impressed with the other night. In the moment, what did you see from him in his first live action? How impressive was it, considering how much he was off?
I thought he made a lot of really good plays with the puck. When we go through it, you look at a lot of our best offensive sequences. A number of them came off of his stick and either directly making the play, such as the quick up pass that he made to Gregor to set up that first goal that kind of got us back going in the game, or just maybe it happens 2 or 3 plays earlier in the sequence, but he is starting the sequences for us. That's what we want to see with him, is his ability to launch our offense. And then the other piece, which again I would say this about a lot of our guys, you step back, you watch the game overhead, where you're seeing all 10 players and what's going on the whole sheet, and he was way better defensively even than I gave him credit for. Our whole defense, I would say that. Our gap control was really good. All the things that Mike Van Ryn's been talking with him through camp, I thought those areas that we've been talking about were the best it's been through preseason or through camp. And Klingberg, for a guy that didn't play preseason for the most part, was really good in that regard as well. So it was an impressive debut for him.
What did you like about how he influenced the power play and, in general, the first look in real time of that? Yeah,
again, same thing. I thought that the power play got better as we got going. Obviously, 2 important goals for us in the second period. Klingers, was an important piece of that. He also, at times, shot the puck when it was his turn, and it was the right decision to shoot it. I thought from that end, I thought it was really good. And again, we come away from the game, even me, when I'm talking to you guys after, I'm not feeling warm and fuzzy about the game because of the nature of it and how it went. But when you watch it back on video, there's a lot of very encouraging things there.
How important is it for you, you mentioned the day Minten being at Morgan's place for dinner when you have to call that the veterans are reaching out and doing these sorts of things for guys that are just really learning their way here.
Yeah, it's great to see, because it's something that we had talked about. And when we made the decision, we were, Fraser was going to start with us. That was the next thing. Okay, he's earned his way here as a player, but now how do we take care of him as a, as a person, as a young man that's coming into a new city and, playing professional hockey and all of that. And I was thrilled. I used the Thanksgiving example, but there's been a number of other gestures that our players just on their own have done. And I think when you step away from it and you look at it, we've got a number of players that have been in his shoes, maybe guys that came in and knew they were going to be here and higher picks and whatnot, but we've got a lot of guys that have been young people in a new city learning a lot all at once, and I'm sure along the way have had others take care of them, and now they're sort of paying it forward. I know if you look back to Tavares and how he brought in Nyes to live with him, I know John, had a player do the same thing for him in Long Island. So that's kind of the way the game works, and players take care of each other that way. And I've been really, really pleased with how our players on their own have taken those guys under their wing and make sure they're taken care of.